Hello and welcome to the show. Listen, we've got a great show planned for you. You know, this month has been about the power of the arts. As we're celebrating the arts, we have some special guests for you. We have Mr. Damon Waring and Andrea McKenzie. So I just want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy. We'll be right back.
The Cecil Williams South Carolina Civil Rights Museum is the Palmetto State's first and only museum. It honors a generation of people, black and white, throughout the state of South Carolina who deserve to be remembered for their unselfish commitments and sacrifices. Enjoy an immersive and entertaining virtual tour. For more information, visit www.cecilwilliams.com.
Welcome back. Well, I tell you, we have a great show planned for you. We have Mr. Damon Waring, yeah, Damon Waring, right? Who's going to be on with us. But listen, before I introduce him, I want to talk about what's on my mind. So, you know, I always talk about things that happen in the news, but this time I really want to get back to us when I talk about being safe. As you know, there is a new variant, and it is called Delta. And this Delta variant, it seems to be very resistant, and it's deadly. And so I just want to remind you, please wear your mask, social distance, wash your hands. I mean, we're going to have to do the same thing because Dr. Fauci is talking about, you know, how serious this Delta variant is. And I just saw that 2,000 plus cases. It's been 2,000% increase in the amount of hospitalizations and deaths. So would you please just be careful? I mean, please just be careful. And this is just coming through from my producer. So we just got a call from Andrea McKenzie. Andrea called and she has a family emergency, a serious family emergency in her home country. And so I'm asking, she's not going to be with us today, but I know that Andrea wants to be on the show and she's coming back at another time. And so I want us to please keep her family in prayer. Please. This is serious and she needs our prayers. Okay? So without further ado, I'm going to talk about a gentleman. This gentleman is an actor. He's a writer. He's an acting coach. He studied at Oglethorpe University. He's been in many theater and television performances. And I'm telling you, he's also a homeboy. All right. So we want to say hi to his family when we come on, when I bring him on. But he is here today, and I am so excited about talking with Damon. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, come on out, Mr. Damon Waring.
Miss Tammy. Hey.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
It's great to have you on the show. Listen, I called you Damon Wayans a little while ago, and I was like, wait, no, Damon Waring. So, Damon, it's great to see you. And listen, tell the family I said hello. You know, I know you're not in Charleston, but I know you're in the big ATL. And so I want to thank you again for gracing us with your presence on the show. So let's talk about you, Damon. I want to find out about this life and career that you started and how this all started. Was it from childhood? Let's talk about that.
Oh, Tammy, taking me all the way back. To theatrical career. I initiated when I was 17 at high school in Andrews, Parish High School.
Oh, yes.
In South Carolina. And theater was something I was always afraid to do, but wanted to try. I had been offered a modeling contract in New York City once I graduated. And of course, they went hand in hand back then. They wanted models to learn how to act.
Mm-hmm.
And the small community that I come from, acting, a young black man saying he wanted to be an actor was not a cool thing. That was way far-fetched and unattainable and unencourageable.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the ancestors telling me, the elders back then, that my manner would take me places that money could take me.
Mm-hmm.
And that my smile could take me places that money could take me. So when I left Charleston, South Carolina, in 1988, with $26 in my pocket, in my clothes, in a Christmas shoebox, because I had no luggage. I never been on a plane. I just left. Talk about faith, huh?
Yeah, that's faith. Damon, my goodness. Wow, 19 years old. So you went to New York.
Yes.
And I mean, okay, so let's look at this. You're 19 years old from Charleston, South Carolina. All right.
Oh yeah.
And St. Andrews is my high school as well. And when you got off of that plane, Damon, what was it like for you being in the big city? Because people always talk about the big city, big lights.
Yeah, bright lights, big things, right?
Yes.
I got up in LaGuardia, and I was summoning a taxi. I got the taxi, and we got up where they released the luggage. Yes.
Uh-huh.
And my luggage, I said, "Oh, there's mine." And it was a Christmas box, all wrapped in duct tape.
Oh God!
And splitting apart and bursting. And he says, son, you're gonna be all right. You got a heart. You got a heart.
Mm-hmm.
And that began. Shortly after that, 2 weeks after that, I was introduced to Dr. Cosby. And he took me under his wing. So I studied on the Cosby Show set for a year. And that was every Thursday at Coffin Studios. And he made me watch scene study. And he felt very important that I read black artists. James Baldwin was a paramount. My sister Jackie loved Alice Walker and Tony Walker, but everybody's theatrical and really highly intelligent. I was encouraged to read.
Wow.
And I started acting classes at the legendary Herbert Bergdorf Studio. And with Earl Hyman, who played the grandfather on the Cosby Show.
Yes.
And I also started studying with the man who played, it was his name was Jeffrey. He played the sister, husband, Sandra's husband.
Oh yeah, Elvin. Elvin, but now he's playing on. Well, they just went off the air. The Have and Have Nots.
Yes.
With Tyler Perry.
Yes. I started him too. And that began. I mentioned I had to stay in acting classes through Wilhelmina, who was now my age.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
A lot of my friends were getting booked for series like Lost, and this one, and major motion pictures, and they wanted me to be the next. In my heart of heart, Tammy, I was terrified. Didn't know I was there. Didn't want to be there. Wanted to run. They couldn't let me.
Wow. Wow.
So that began a career of studying. My technique, Stanislavski, Uda Hagen, various names of the atmosphere of acting by teachers and thinkers, and lots of reading.
Wow.
Lots of very intellectually stimulating reading. It's amazing how much as an actor you have to read.
Correct.
Yeah, you have to read a lot about acting. The main things I've learned were discipline. And in New York theater, there were no excuses. There were no excuses to meet with your reading partner, your acting partner. At 7 o'clock, That door was shut. Okay, no one came in at 701. And they reserved the right to let you out go to class. Mind you, you paid $2,300 for 3 months. And after 2 weeks, they didn't like you. They reserved the right to cancel your. Oh yeah.
Wow. To let you go.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, Damon, as I'm listening to you, because some folks would have said, okay, you're going to be a starving artist. I heard that in my family when I wanted to be a classical pianist. And my mother said, well, you're going to be a starving artist. So I did music at Howard, but I also was in microbiology. So that's what I fell back on, and I look back on it now. I said, wow, if I had really kept on. But, you have to have that perseverance. And that's what I hear you saying as we're talking. You had that perseverance. And I know at some time you might have wanted to say, hey, I want to give up. And at that time, when you wanted to do that, what inspired you? What kept you going?
The fact, Tammy, I was not going to go home a loser. I was not going to go home succumbing to hard times or the other thing. The no money. Okay? Sometimes living $3 for a week. Buying a bagel and making it last all day.
Wow.
I knew I was in a place that my dreams can come true. The trust can provide. The asset. The people you saw walking on the street in New York City. And you could just walk ahead. I was dreaming.
Yeah,
I
know. Yeah, and looking and seeing Bill Cosby and some of the other folks that you've already named. I mean, Felicia Rashad, that whole cast, and
sweet.
And seeing them, it's like wow.
And they were encouraging. I knew nothing. I put a lot of people had been studying since they were three. And the only thing that was helping me get through the door was that I was starting to book modeling. And my dream to be an actor was to be on Broadway. I never wanted to do movies. I never wanted to do TV really. I wanted to be on Broadway, like Sidney Poitier,
yes,
or Denzel Washington. Or the song and dance man,
Ben Vereen, yes.
Ben Vereen. And of course, my greatest inspiration was Sammy Davis Jr.
Oh, wow.
Watching him as a child, I will never forget the magic, how he made people feel, how he made me feel. And I thought, how powerful place he is to make people feel so good.
Wow.
My acting coach wanted me to study Blair Underwood.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I studied Richard Reed for commercials. And he just loved Blair Underwood. So he was like, Damon, study Blair. And my serious coach, my coach, wanted me to study Sidney Poitier. So I had every movie poster, every collectible. I wanted to be Sidney Poitier.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, you have become a phenomenon, and I'm just so grateful, just knowing you from Charleston and how you have been a success. And that's why I wanted you to come on to really talk about, how do you prepare your role and develop your character? How do you do that?
That's a very important question. And that's a very important element of acting. It's character development. I can't say enough about it. Being an acting coach and a drama teacher, that is one of the paramount things from the first thing to learn. Okay? Everybody wants to read and get on stage and act and be too much.
Hello.
And without knowing that you're representing a real live person that has heart and experiences and emotions and baggage. All those things come into play. At the HQ Studios that Uda Hagen founded, there's something called the Uda Hagen Num. And it's 9 questions to prepare an actor for a scene. And it goes like, you've heard of it. Who am I? Where am I? I know. What am I given circumstances? How do I get what I want? What's in my way? They give those questions. But Tammy, you broaden it. Depending on the size of the character, the work of the character, the place of the character, you broaden it. And you broaden it from 9 questions to 25 questions. From 25 questions to 50 questions. From 50 questions to 100 questions.
Wow.
And you ask detailed questions about the character. Where were they born? Were they written for? Were their parents together? Do they have siblings? Did they sneak out at night? Do they do drugs? Any question to get a deeper level of the character and the way it's written. Because Tammy, everything you need to bring out a character is right there in the text. I think the actor tend to fall into this trap where the dialogue is everything. No, it's Tammy. It goes 40% of the actor's voice, 40%, 50% body language, 10% of the dialogue. So the dialogue is really that.
Wow.
But all the character development is going to inform the body language.
Okay.
So if you run like it, did he get shot in the
You can hum. Yeah.
What kind of work did he do? How far did he go to education?
Wow.
So all the questions and more, so much more.
Wow.
Goes into developing a fully moving, speaking, talking, crying, laughing human being.
Yeah.
And it's just three-dimensional.
Right. And so as you are, I'm I love the way you are explaining it, because like you said, some people just think they can just get up there and say, oh, hi, my name is so, and I am, and da 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 da. Well, no, I love the way you did that, because when we watch television, when we go to the theater, then you're able to really learn about that character. And so as an actor, you have to go in to get that, to bring it out. And I love what you're saying. So let's talk about the best role, your favorite role that you have done.
Okay. Tammy, I probably can't see it behind me. It looks very small.
Yes.
Point to right there. That was, I played, Danny Glover's character in Beloved. 20 More Beloved.
Yes.
Yes, I played the lead. Paul D. Garner.
Yes. Yes.
That was my crown and glory. Because that meant something to me.
Oh my goodness.
Tammy, the research, months. I read the book twice. Mine was 2 Harvard graduates. And it was one of the hardest books I had to decipher. So when I auditioned for the role, the director was a Rhodes Scholar. And she was in theater all over the world. And she says, I really would like to do this. I was terrified, but I read the book. And I knew it was important. I had no idea that Miss Morrison was the late Miss Morrison was writing about. I wasn't mature enough, Tammy. And mind you now, I'm 36 at this time. I went to college late. It was the first black production, all black production, at Oglethorpe University. which was very white
Yes.
until a certain midnight, mid 2000s.
Yes.
But she was going to do Beloved, and it was the most challenging, arduous. We had 8 weeks of rehearsal, 8 hours a day, 6 days a week. And this is for a 2-day performance of a workshop. So people had the idea that it would be perfect. And Tammy, for that role, and for many roles, you have to learn the entire play. You have to memorize the entire play. Everybody else is coming and going, so you know you're coming and going. And you're giving such a fantastic. And your time to come in, your time to leave. So I had to learn the whole play.
Wow.
I've read many plays, but memorize every person's, every character, movement, decision, thought, words, something.
No, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead. I had a question.
It was my cherished and challenging moment to bring that man. I think, here we go, Tammy. I mean, you on. So many black men are misunderstood, have been beaten down so bad by a system, a constitution that is written into. And I don't think that the people quite look into it hard enough to see the excoriation of the person that someone like Paul D went through. Paul D's spirit was completely taken.
That's right.
Almost eviscerated. When he meets Jessica, he's been walking, I don't know how many days without food. And they see each other as slaves who had escaped slaves. And they can't believe that each one was a God. And it's the biggest honor to represent that kind of intellectual seriousness in literature and art, in history, to betray 2 or 3 different sides of a person. They look at one side and say, "Oh, he's like that."
Right.
And it's really not that easy.
Yeah.
No one's life is that easy.
It isn't. And one of the things as you were talking about memorizing, I'm glad there are a couple of points that you brought up, but one of the things that I love what you said, that you had to memorize the whole play. A lot of people think, and this is for people who are interested in going into acting, they think that you just memorize your part. No, you've got to learn all scenes. You got to know all parts when everybody's coming in and all of that. But one of the things I wanted to ask you about is, as an acting coach and talking about learning these scenes, was there any time for you to ad-lib?
During my performance, you got to be really careful. Because writers are very sensitive. And they want what's there.
What's on the paper.
Yeah. When you vary off, it's most records, writers, executive producers, they're not very fond of it. It's in the text, and they don't want too much variation. Now, I'm sure there's some people, like I would even say Andrea Glasser, who I think is one of the highest trained actors out there possible. You learn to manipulate the line or use the timing so that it may seem that you're improvising. But really, you got to get back your head and you're delivering it a different way.
Wow.
Everything's there.
Wow. And talking with you about playing a difficult role, not only was that your favorite role, but as you're speaking, I hear the difficulty, the challenge that you were having with, learning and making sure that you wanted to portray Paul so that people in the audience would be able to relate to him and really understand. And I know that's hard. But it's rewarding, because when you finish, right? Yes. What happens when you finish the role? What happened when you finish that particular role?
I never felt stronger. And I remember actually calls were coming in, plays were coming. But I was spoiled. They were like, this is by Neil Simon. The Latin James Baldwin. I was pretty more. I was walking. I was in my military phase, and they were where I wanted. Of course, I brought that. But what it did to me is it stayed me and cast me in iron.
Mm-hmm.
I walked off of that. It was only 2 nights. So the second night, I had mastered it. And I walked away feeling like I brought this man some justice. So maybe he would understand with this broken spirit trying to heal out of the worst circumstances.
Yeah.
Then he survived.
Wow.
That was a big job. Big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
And I took it very seriously.
Wow.
I like you said, you memorize everybody else's parts. And sometimes it's not so that I'm okay. I have to make sure that they're okay too.
That's right.
It's like one of the lead actors, they become like director. They're like making sure everybody's right there. For freedom of mind. It's sometimes being the young woman who played Setha, the lead of the story. Of course, everybody knows the love was about a slave woman who decided to kill her child.
That's right.
Rather than let them be a slave. Some people say it's a fantasy. I say it's some of the biggest love display of love I've ever seen. Because she said, this baby won't suffer what I suffered. So if you agree with it or not,
right.
It's one of the dilemmas of dilemmas in theater.
That's right. That's right.
Brought by a phenomenal, brilliant black writer. So I bathed in it. I wanted every nuance to be there. And then come, Tammy, with rehearsal, with a partner. With incessant study. With learning every word from the first definition, the secondary definition, the tertiary definition, to make sure you understand exactly what it is.
Wow.
You're saying in the time period, in the given circumstance.
That's right.
Everything affects everything.
Yeah.
Is the character hungry? Is he sleeping?
Right.
Is she pregnant?
All right.
Is she young and pregnant?
How about that? That's right. That's right. Well, just talking with you, I'm ready for my acting lessons. I did a little acting, little something, but I'm ready for the real coach.
I love having you.
I tell you.
How talented you were back then.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you so much, Damon. I appreciate that. So listen, let's talk about, because we're going to take a break and I want you to come back with us. But I want to touch on some of the recent roles that you have been doing. Or what have you, what is it that you've been doing right now?
Okay. What now?
Yeah, I just want you to answer if what are some recent roles you have acquired and how's that going for you?
It's so funny, for the last 9 years, I haven't concentrated on performing. I've been teaching. 9 years. Yes. Through Fulton County Arts Department. Enrichment program after school. And I also been doing my own State Players Workshop, where we dig into material. And I also private coach. So it's really nurturing and cultivating these young actors who take it seriously. There's enough out there where people say, well, I have a friend who took the job on Netflix and he's never seen in his life. And you say, okay, I wonder how long it will last. Okay? There's nothing like the bedrock foundation of theater. Learning that before you step anywhere else as an actor. And that's the hardest part for people. They want to. So many people want to be famous.
Fast.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Fast.
They want to be famous and not be actors.
Right.
And these days, you can be famous and not be a talented person or work on a talent craft. You don't have to do that anymore.
That's true.
So I've been working with a lot of young people lately. When I say young, 25 and under. And I have to stress to them the importance of the discipline of learning the craft. Inside out. Lots of reading. Lots of writing. Lots of doing, a monologue. And singing. And reading psychological behaviors. Behaviors are so important because, the psychology is important because it motivates behavior. It's where they're thinking is how they're going to behave.
That's right.
Acting is about behaviors.
Wow. Well, hold that thought. Hold that thought. We're going to come back. We're going to take a break, and I want you to come back because you sent us a clip. Ooh, and I want everyone to see this clip because it's fantastic. When I saw it, I was like, well, wait a minute. I want to finish looking at the show. I want to finish seeing it, right?
Tammy, I want to explain something to you after we do it.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a plan. We'll be right back. Thanks, Damon.
Okay.
The Cecil Williams South Carolina Civil Rights Museum is the Palmetto State's first and only museum. It honors a generation of people, black and white, throughout the state of South Carolina who deserve to be remembered for their unselfish commitments and sacrifices. Enjoy an immersive and entertaining virtual tour. For more information, visit www.cecilwilliams.com.
All right, welcome back. I've been talking with the famous Damon Waring. All right, yes, actor. How about that? Acting coach, the whole nine. He's done it, and I tell you what, he's my homeboy, and I'm so proud of him, and so blessed that he's on the show today. So, Damon, want to get back to our conversation as you were talking about acting coach, being an acting coach. I want to take us to this clip. And I want you to explain, do you want to talk about it now or do you want to talk about it after?
After.
Okay. All right. So Tiana, let's roll the clip.
What kind of man lets his wife go off to France to become a writer?
The sort of man that understands what it's like to have a deep calling.
Oh, yeah, you're so smart now, ain't you?
No, Dad.
You're not so smart.
So you never wanted to be a cop?
Hell no.
But you told me you had a calling.
Yeah, I did. I'm looking at him. I had you and your mother to think about. There ain't no calling greater than that.
But what did you want to do for you?
There was no me. There's only us.
No, that's bullshit. You could have done it differently.
And do what?
Whatever it was, you really wanted to do in the first place.
I know you're not walking to me. Are you fucking crazy, man? Where are you going?
I'm going to Paris.
You going
I'm
to
meeting
Paris?
Mom, yeah.
When are you going?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
You got a ticket?
What are you talking about?
There's a ticket for you too, Dad.
Son. You ain't about to walk with me right now. Your mama don't want to see me.
She does, Dad.
I can't just pick up and leave.
Yes, you can.
What makes you think I want to go to Paris?
Because Mom is waiting for us.
I can't go to Paris. It's not because I don't want to, it's I can't. Your mom and I, we've grown apart. We're two separate people. She's a writer.
Dad, I spoke to Mom. And she hasn't... It's not about her meeting another man. It was about her doing what she needed to do for herself. She still loves you, Dad.
Son, if your mama loved me, she would have never left.
Wow. when I tell you I was so engrossed, I was like, okay, I want to see the rest. So talk about the clip, Damon.
It was called by a writer named Joseph Arnone. And it's about a woman who... But a man, the father, who puts all his views aside to be responsible once his child is announced. His son, Brandon. And the wife is up and left. She's going to fulfill her dream. She started her life, and she wants to go to path right. Now, this man is a policeman, very blue-collar earner, and he's thinking that, well, obviously he's a man. And when she meets, when she goes over there, the type of man that she'll meet, he cannot compete. So he's angry, bitter, wishing he had done his dreams, but made that sacrifice. Not even a sacrifice. He just raised his own son. He raised his son. Right. You know. That night, Tammy, was December 19, 2019. And I swear, Tammy, I think I had COVID before we knew what COVID was.
Wow.
I was so sick. And it was raining. It was freezing. And I kept taking all the cold medicine. So to stay away and try to just be there. And be present. And I was so medicated. You know, it takes hours. That little clip. Hours to do. And I just kept trying to stay away by taking cold medicine, Tylenol. They were red and blue capsules left and right. And by the time it was later for those things to happen, like push the door and the conversation, I could really stand from the cold medicine. And I'm dropping lines. Anytime he called me, and I come back on the line, I drop the line. So I come back and get the line, come back on the line. You know, like
you would, but you didn't see that, Damon. I mean, I really didn't. I was so engrossed in the conversation that I did not really pay attention to the fact that when you did that. Now that you say it, I saw that. But
you don't know.
It was fabulous.
And that young man, I really do take him to heart as my son. His name is Brandon Arnold. He's a SAG Award winner for his stunt work in Black Panther. He did every movie show that has black men. It's usually him.
Wow.
He's a very, very successful young stuntman. It's amazing where my students have gone. And that is like the greatest satisfaction. It's like to see your young ones go forward.
Yeah.
We were raised, Tammy, that every generation go higher and higher.
That's right.
We push. We sacrifice. The faithful places we couldn't go. Or the tongue, whatever. So to see my children flourish and to understand. And hopefully be influenced by some of the teachings, not by me, but the teachings I pick up. My students are from Yale, Juilliard, Berkeley. You name it. I have students who come to me that are super smart, and they're like, Mr. Waring, I know nothing. Teach me. Wow. So they put a lot of themselves in my hand.
They trust you. Right, they trust you.
Oh yeah.
And you have that, but you have that sense of excitement. As I said, just as I'm sitting here talking to you, I'm like, okay, when we get off, I'm going to tell Damon, stay backstage, because you and I are going to have a conversation after the show. And I know I don't want to intrude on you, but I do want to talk to you. So, it's like what I'm hearing from you. And this is from when back in the day as well. I mean, because you were always so outgoing, everybody loved you and you did so well. And so having said that, I want to talk to you about the pandemic. Because as being an acting coach, writer, doing what you're doing, how has that affected your work as an actor?
Tammy, last year I was doing a workshop at 18 students and about 500 students, all under me myself. So when the pandemic hit, it wrecked so much for me. You know, we weren't allowed to meet in the business, the location because city ordinances and COVID. And so a lot of things came to a halt.
Mm-hmm.
They started picking back up last 2 months. But I tell you, over that break, I did a lot of reading and a lot of studying.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I wouldn't use study. But not so much actors that you see them. It's like an actor, but you know it's an actor, but in a different role.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see more actors that dissolve in roles. You know, that could do 3 or 4 roles in one series and pull them all off with nuances, with accent, with voice, with body language,
Mm-hmm.
So my goal now is with my students is a lot more physical acting. In the beginning, no one liked it, but there's reading, and you really don't get near the front of anybody or a stage for the first year. Some programs two.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a lot to be learned before any.
Wow. Before you really go out into the world. So Damon, let me ask you this. We're getting these messages that you have an echo, and we want you to see if you can cut your phone down just a little bit to present that, to hopefully prevent that echo. Yeah. I think that will work. Tiana is backstage, so she's kind of tweaking, and my executive producer, she's looking as well. She's looking at the show. So thank you, Miss Alicia. All right, yeah, and Carmen, I want to thank Carmen as well. So now we've gone from the pandemic, and which is good because, during the pandemic, as I told people, you're able to be, I'm speaking for myself, able to be creative.
Oh yeah. Tim, how can I forget? So last year, during the pandemic, they were, Fulton County, the city of Atlanta, were offering grants for unique contribution in the theatrical world, in the arts world, during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And I had just come off of Harvard X's 4-part program on Shakespeare. So it's three classes, and then a discussion class, and then you got 4 certifications in Shakespeare. So I did those because I always try to enrich myself every year with at least 2 classes that I hadn't taken before, or some kind of reaching out that I can bring back to my students.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, and it was grueling. I tell you, I had never read that much since I've been in college. I mean, hours every day I was studying Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, I thought after I did the 4-month succession of classes, people are saying, well, what are you going to do with that, Damon? You're a black man, you're saying you're going to teach Shakespeare? And I'm like, yeah, I am. So I sent a proposal to the Fulton County Commission of the Arts to start a Shakespeare for Seniors group. And I asked for a little bit of seed money to introduce Shakespeare. Not only to introduce it to our seniors, but to have their flavoring, their seasoning, their maturity, their life experiences, giving those lines. I think, I have 19-year-olds that can do Shakespeare, cold reads. But I thought to hear the same thing from a 55-year-old woman or 60-year-old man, or a black or Indian or trans or somebody, perfect person.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really interesting. And I told them I wanted it to be all-inclusive, and I wanted to be mature voices playing Othello. and Desdemona. I want her to be older too, and a freer thinker, and I want them to be black or Indian or Puerto Rican or trans or white or whatever. I didn't care. As God would have it, I was anointed. I was blessed with the award, and I started my own Shakespeare for Seniors group last year during the pandemic. I can't believe I forgot that.
Yeah.
But it took so much work. Yeah.
Wow.
And, definitely a flag in the ground, though, because once you win a grant, people acknowledge that you've been doing something
That's
out in
right.
the community, with good in the community. And so it gave me a different footing. So my rate's going to go up, Tammy. Per hour.
Okay. Wow.
So,
But that's exciting. That's, just like I said, the pandemic, brought a lot out of everything. Although, for me and for a lot of people, and just for you, we lost folks and we lost friends, we lost family. But at the same time, there was this creative side that birthed out of a lot of people. People didn't do the things that they thought. They did things that they didn't think they could do.
Oh yeah.
And so I just wanted to hear your perspective as an actor, as an acting coach, and a writer. What was the biggest thing for you? And I want you to tell us a little about your speech writing and creative writing. Yeah, talk about that. We don't have a whole lot of time, but I could talk to you all night. So let's talk about what is it that you do with your speech writing and creative writing? Because I know folks will want to know that.
Creative writing in college, I studied creative writing with a focus on autobiography, biography, and memoir.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always good at writing essays for scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a class I taught at the Fulton County Center of the Arts at the West End Performing Arts Center in creative writing for scholarships. I landed my first. I won my first national in college through the National Speakers Association.
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted to look back. Tammy, I think I'm a writer more than anything.
Mm.
I like the process. I like how hard it is.
Mm-hmm.
I like how rejuvenating it is. I like our language.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm inspired. I was watching some notes from some James Baldwin tutorial last night. I listen now at 52, Tammy, with different ears. They mean different things now, these things that people wrote.
Yes.
The Langston Hughes wrote, that James Baldwin wrote, that Nick Giovanni wrote, that Ida B. Wells wrote. They ring differently now. I'm enjoying my maturity, Tammy. I wish I knew back when I was 19 when everybody offered me movies and telling me they made me the biggest star in the world. I was, oblivious to. I wish I knew now. The best thing for me to do at this point is to pass it on to my students.
Right.
And just let them know that it's serious.
And what advice would you give for someone or some young person, even some seasoned persons that want to go into the acting business, that want to go into this entertainment field? What advice would you give them?
I would tell them to go into it with an open mind, open heart, leave your ego at the door. Probably times that you're going to think you're doing awesome, and your coach or instructor might say, I'll see you at the class. If they don't tell you something out loud. The humble child takes the great, my grandmama used to always say.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just say to work very hard and be open to the instruction. Tammy, so many people, these young people I see, they want to build a roof first.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell them, no, to build a house, you need a firm foundation.
Mm-hmm.
You got to build that bottom layer first.
That's right.
So I would tell them to start with at what they think is the bottom, which is probably the greatest starting point in theater, and to be encouraged.
Wow, I love that. And so, what's next for Damon?
Oh, Tammy. Tammy, I wrote a book a long time ago. I wrote it and I finished it in 2011.
Uh-huh.
And I wrote it in all Gullah.
Why?
Yes, I did.
What you say?
Yes, yeah, exactly. And I took it to my mentor, and she said, "Damon, it's fantastic if the readers speak out. They don't speak out. What we're not gonna know what to do." Because I wrote it phonetically, same way that very similar to the way Miss Sapphire wrote push. And the same way, kind of the same way Miss Walker wrote The Color Purple, very phonetically.
And Paul Lawrence Dunbar. Yeah. In Des Moines.
So I'm re-editing it right now into standard King James English, and without losing what this little boy is speaking of, who is Gullah raised. So I had to curb it down some, but he's got to have some Gullah nuances.
Oh, most definitely. Yes. Look, most definitely, you better have some Gullah up in there. Yeah.
Well, how folks will know what we were talking about?
In it. In it. Wow, I would love to read that. I mean, the Gullah version, I'd love to read it. I mean,
Tammy, you would love the Gullah version.
Yes. You know, that's Charleston. Even though we know how to turn it on and how to turn it off.
Tammy, we were raised to do that, remember?
Exactly.
You had to go to school to learn how to speak English. We could say a little stuff at home, but it was to learn how to speak.
How to articulate. You had to learn how to articulate.
How you articulate.
Yes.
You gotta be 2 times better than, you won't get noticed, you better be 2 times better and 3 times better than that little boy next to you, right? Wow. Let me ask you this though, Tammy. Let me ask you, turn your question on you.
Yes.
And you've been doing the arts and media. What has been your flag in the ground? When did you know, okay, I'm in the right place?
You know what? I think I knew long time ago when I used to imitate people, because I used to play, as I told you, I played the organ and the piano. Since I was 3 years old, the piano, organ at 10. And so I used to imitate pastors. I come home and say, oh, they jump and shout, and this is what they say, and la 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 la.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think for me, it was starting at a young age. But however, I wanted to be safe. And so that's why I went into microbiology and all of that. But it started when I was young. And so for me, as you asked, my flagship now is that I am growing into this this woman who wants to do everything. The Renaissance woman. And so I am experimenting and thinking about things. I'm doing some writing, and that's why I say we're gonna talk. Stay backstage because we're gonna talk. But I thank you for asking me that question, because when people ask me, I'm like, it just happened. And my mother always said, she said, you love to imitate people. You love to act about this. You always doing this. And so, as I said, it happened when I was young. And so now I am maturing into those roles.
Oh, I see. Excellent. And I would tell your audience, it usually shows up young. Your love for acting, your love for music, your love for painting. Or building with Lego block. It shows up young.
Yeah.
Some women and some children start doing lip close and start singing before they speak.
Yep. And they used to say when I was at school, they said, "Oh, you must be from the islands." I said, "No, I'm from Charleston, South Carolina." But I say I'm from Charleston, and they said, "'Cause you sing. Every time you talk, it sounds like you singing."
Right.
But it started when I was young, and thank you so much for asking a question. But no one's ever asked me that before, so I guess it's a part of me starting this acting coach with you. Okay, my lessons.
Absolutely.
My lessons.
I have to reach in,
All right.
Places that are uncomfortable. That's one thing I can say, Tammy. As an actor, you were talking about what were you telling them? You have to unlearn a lot, Tammy. You have to unlearn all the stuff to make your face straight, and to hide your emotions, and to hide your fears, and to hide your laughter and your tears. You have to unlearn it and throw it away. Because you have to be a raw human being. You have to be a newborn in adult skin. And that could be something, because when you're not, you're trained to do that for 30 years. When you're in real life, you get a pitch, you feel it.
Right. Right. Right.
I'm trained to do that.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what? Listen, I am just sitting on top of the world, listening to you right now, and I tell you, I can't thank you enough. But Damon, you know that there's one question that I asked before we go off the air. Tell me 3 words that describe Damon.
The first word that came to mind was bold. Bold, daring, caring.
Wow. Wow. And it's evident that it is coming through. It is coming through. Damon, thank you so much for being on the show. Oh, I love you.
You invited me. Oh my God, I'm so honored. Thank you. I remember Jackie talking about you, Tammy.
That's right. And you want to tell, I know that's right. We want to tell Jackie I said hello, my girl. I tell you, I thank you so very much for being on the show and for enlightening us about the arts. Because you gave us a different perspective of, what it's like to be an actor and teaching what you're doing. Your lessons is you're teaching folks. And so I want to thank you so much for sharing that and for just being so transparent.
No, listen, as you train to actually learn to be transparent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is so true. So listen, please stay backstage, and I just want to thank you again, and I'm going to close out the show because I'm excited to keep on talking. Listen, y'all, as folks are seeing, this is Damon Waring, and you can contact Damon at his number. The number is 404-797-6631, and so you can call Damon at that number if you're interested.
LinkedIn.
Yes, hello, or yes, LinkedIn. His LinkedIn page is Damon Waring. And you just go right there and you can talk to Damon. All right, Damon, I'll see you back in just a second, but I thank you so much for joining me on the show. Thank you. All right, listen, folks, I tell you what, this has been a phenomenal show. I mean, amazing. I could come up with all the adjectives in the world. This was so enlightening, and I hope you enjoyed it. I want to thank you for tuning in to the show today, for always being here, and for always supporting the Tammy Show. Remember, you can go to the YouTube page, and that's The Tammy TV Show, where you'll be able to see it. And we're also on Facebook Live on the Tammy Show. So please, next week, we have 2 special guests. Mr. Jay Rashawn, I call him Sean, but Jay Rashawn, he's celebrity hairstylist. And then you're going to meet Marianne Alda, who is from The Edge of Night, first African-American soap opera actress. And she's going to be right on here with us next week. So again, remember what I talked about. Always remember to bless someone every day. If you can, please do that for me, because there's so many people that are out here hurting, and we want to make sure that we're a part of that and we're giving back to our communities. And always, always remember, wear that mask, social distance, and wash your hands. Please, we've got to stay safe. Until the next time, love you much. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.